Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back for a new video. This right here is a 3x3 base layout for you guys. I know that you guys have commented so many times on my 2x2 layout that I'm actually going to make a 3x3 right now. Now, why I am doing a 3x3 and not just using the old 2x2 is because as soon as you move the schematic, you're gonna miss a lot of walls right here in the end. Now, to go straight into it, guys, this right here is a 3x3 layout, and it is pretty much the exact same as a 2x2. The only reason, or the only difference, so to say, is that I added these sand walls right there. And the reason for that is that Rev Hybrid over one block backboard has been very, very popular lately, and you like to be able to fire an auto into all of their walls and get in to the base in like 10 minutes if you have everything pre-built. Now, to prevent that, we need sand walls. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm pretty sure we can put some over there if we want to. So you're gonna need a lot of sand walls. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is that, hey, this filters right here is not aligned up with the other filters. And somebody asked me about this. Why don't you just make a filter just within your base? Why do you have to extend it out to the other filter? Now let's imagine that you are shooting. Let me get some speed on this bad boy over here. So let's imagine you're shooting. You want to bypass the filters. You want to bypass as many filters as possible. You can bypass 1. You can bypass 2. You can bypass 2 filters, and then you'll get into the base somewhere around like right here, I assume, right? Yeah, you'll and get into it right here. Now, you don't really want to do that because you'll be able to bypass all the filters. What you do need to do is that you need to extend it out to where these filters is right here. Because no matter what, you'll have to go through all the filters. There's no but. They have to go through the filters if you want to get into the base. What they can do is that they can left shoot, they can bypass these filters right here if they did it like, let's say right here, but you still have to go through at least one filter by left shooting then. So this way it's very, 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 very good, and you'll be able to quickly and very like precise determine if you'll be able to bypass any filters. If you go like, let's go straight, like if you go right here, you'll be able to see it really, really quick that they're actually not possible to bypass any filters. But if you extend it, you'll for sure make sure they won't be able to bypass any filters whatsoever. So what you need to do is that you need to make sure that your filters are like this, because, or not like it's on right now, but if you extend it, right, you need to make sure that your filters is exactly like that, because then you're sure you won't be able to bypass it, and that's pretty much the goal right here. Now, feel free to leave now, because I'm gonna go over all the other stuff that was on the 2x2 as well. Because if somebody didn't watch my 2x2, didn't get 3x3 instead, then go ahead and listen carefully. So all the way out here, we have our first walls, and it's a full 20 buffer, but we do have one chunk right down here where there's absolutely nothing. So there's 19 chunks of walls, then one chunk of nothing, because you're going to need that if there's any one stackers or anything actually going on, then you would need those chunks. Next up, we have the checkbox. The checkbox right here pretty much just make sure that you guys are not getting raided. It's kind of a way you could just quickly run around. I'm pretty sure you guys know about this, but this right here is pretty much all the way around. And of course, if you have a border base, all you need to do is just rotate the schematic and you have a border base. I'm just making a corner one because there's way less, the size is decreased by half. So it's very important that whenever you put the schematic in, that you don't lag out or crash. So I made it a corner and you can just rotate it. But again, this right here is the checkbox, and I didn't put any redstone in here because that's not allowed on some servers. You're not allowed carbon on some servers. You're not allowed torches on some servers. So it's all different. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it like that. There's trapdoors every second chunk, meaning you'll be able to get out no matter what. So let's say that's they're raiding you right here. This right here is your only trapdoors. You can't fly up to get the trapdoor. You're fucked. But instead, you can just go ahead and run a few more chunks out and go out right here, and then you have to, of course, run back. But that's pretty much the easy way. I'm pretty sure I did explain you the cards. These cards just make sure they can't left shoot, right shoot, so you won't get an entire, let's say they put a left shooter, or sorry, not a left shooter, if they put an L nuke or something right here, you don't want this entire thing to be scattered out. Now, somebody did tell me that, well, there's no protection in the corners right here, and that's true. There's no protection right here in the corners. You would be able to scatter out the entire thing right here. But of course, you would have to like hybrid right there, have to hybrid right there, and there, and there, you know, all the way in. So that way, it kind of makes it a little bit secure, but they can indeed just make it kind of right here. One thing I do want to say is that if you guys feel like your sand pillars, at least these corner ones, is getting too destroyed by one stackers all the time, what it can do is you can just add more of these by simply just going out like this. So, oh, let me get that. There you go. So you can just simply do something like that, and these will protect you as well. But it's really, I didn't really add it because it's not really necessary. But that you have that possibility. Now, this right here is just pure walls, and I told you about the filters. I do need to extend them before I take the schematic, but we did add the sand walls and stuff like that. 3 sand walls right here to make sure, because with hybrid of one block backboard have been really popular, and that's how people are pretty much getting rated. So we don't want that to happen to your guys' base. I added a few more sand walls into a 3x3 because I kind of expect you have more players since you need a 3x3. The last filter right here is kind of part of the reverse layer right here. We do have 5 reverse layers. That is extent right here. You don't need money more than that. If they manage to get a backboard under your base without you noticing it, and you get to go through at least 5, then that probably means you're not checking walls, and it doesn't really matter what you do. You're gonna get in. So that's not really anything you can do there. If you're not online, you're not online. But this right here is the 5. It's going to be extent, so you're going to have filters right here. You're going to have wraps right here where this obsidian is. So everything is going to be wrapped around your base, your inner core, which is right here. And anything you're noticing, this right here is exactly 3x3. So if you look at the coordinates right now, you see, boom, I just entered 15x15. That's because it's exactly a 3x3. So the walls is inside the 3x3 chunk, if that makes sense. So your clays will fit perfectly. But as I said, these guys right here, down here is extent. Now these filters only go down to right here, but the other ones, this is right here. Let me fly up. Here you go. They are covering your reverse layers as well, and that's a good idea to do. There's really no need to put this further down. Because if you want to add slabs to your filters, that's a very, very, very good idea. And I would probably suggest that you actually do it. Because as soon as you add filters, you might actually, if you have any problems on the filter with hammer and slab bust, then you would actually be able to have these slabs here to make a lot of damage for them. So it takes extra time to go through them and so on and so on and so on. That's pretty much the filters. Now, if you did notice, I made a lot of sand down there. And those are pretty much for gen buckets on some servers. Some servers wants the sand gen bucket to be placed from bedrock, and then it goes up. So I made these right here to determine where there is where all these pillars are. So right here, this is pretty much where all the pillars are. So you can just go ahead and do whatever. This right here is not where the pillars are, I'm pretty sure. Nope, I need to fix that as well. But these are going to be out here, so you'll know where everything is. This right here is also for the filters. So right here is the sand wall on each side. This right here is pretty useful, because if you want to make your filters, you see these flying lines right here. If this was wood border, it's going to be hard to get it, because then you need to build blocks like that, and probably in cobble, but blocks down like that. You don't have to with these sand walls right here. You just build these all the way up, and then you can just pretty much skim everything in, which is pretty useful in some situation, and I actually prefer doing it that way. So all this sand right here is perfectly placed. I'm gonna move that out and stuff like that, and I am pretty sure that that's pretty much it. I do want to show you a little inside the base right here. The inside of the base is not really, it's just completely hollow, but I did the obsidian for you guys. So if you want to print in your obsidian right here instead of gen pocketing, you have the possibility. You can just go ahead and print it in. There's no glitch layers, so I would prefer you do like 2 blocks like that. Also, the base wall itself doesn't have any glitch layers and stuff like that. All you need is just 2 blocks for free cam secking. This is pretty much what I used for like all the time, so that's pretty much what I use, and it works perfectly. They can't FreeCam it and stuff like that, which is very important as well. But that's pretty much too thick, and that's pretty much it. Of course, this right here is a reverse layers. That has to be Obsidian because people, again, FreeCam your reverse layers. Very annoying, I know, but people are actually doing it. So we need to make sure that you guys have your reverse layers completely obbied. Or else you're just gonna sec it. That's at least what he did to me. This is not nice. Not nice at all. But I'm pretty sure that that's pretty much everything about the 3x3. I'm gonna go ahead and take out a schematic for this right here, and I'm gonna let you guys have fun with it. Now, if you have any other suggestions for bases, I'm not talking regions because I'm not gonna do that. But anything else related to like this kind of factions, let me know down in the comments. Maybe I can go ahead and take your idea and maybe go ahead and release a version of it. But I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys for watching this video here. Remember to subscribe. Oh no, sorry. First, you need to comment for any suggestions. Then you need to like my video, if you liked it, of course. And as always, guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.